In this video, I'm going to show you the top 5 most overpowered blitzes in Madden 26. Now, these are my favorite blitzes in the game because they send insane pressure, they cause my opponents to rage, and they give me super easy wins. Now, as always, if you want access to the full schemes around these blitzes, you can find those on WinMadden.com. But with that, let's get to the first blitz. Now, at number 5 on our list of the top 5 most overpowered blitzes in Madden 26, we're going to look at the formation 3-3 Cub. Now, this is from our Minnesota 2.0 defensive game plan on WinMadden.com, but this is a great blitz because you can do it out of a lot of different plays. Now, from this menu, I am showing this for a reason. We're going to click in the right stick to pull up our coaching adjustments, and you really don't need technically to change anything in here. These are all things that are optional. The only things that I would mention that I would probably seriously take a look at is changing safety width to pinch and safety depth to close. Now from here, we're gonna back out of here and we're just gonna simply go into Cub, and we can pick one of a handful of plays that this blitz really works really well with, but we're gonna look at cover 3 buzz. You could run this out of cover 4 show 2. You could run this out of Tampa 2. I'm just gonna run out of cover 4 show 2 because I think it's the easiest way to do it. Now, again, I'm just gonna simply call the play, and then we're going to show our play art when we break the huddle. If you don't know how to do that, it's right trigger on Xbox and then up on the right stick. Same thing on PlayStation, actually. But we need to identify which side we have our extra blitzer on. So you can see here we've got our defensive tackles in the middle here, and then this is an outside linebacker, and he is blitzing. So our blitz is coming from the right side in this case. If the play was flipped, I just wanted to point it out because auto flip is on here. The blitz could be coming from the other side too, but I just want to point out that you do need to pay attention to that a little bit. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take this guy, he's going to be your user, and you're just going to bring him down, and you're going to stand right in front of the guard here, and then we're going to spread our defensive line, which is left on the D-pad, up on the left stick, and then we're going to QB contain, which is right bumper on Xbox, R1 on PlayStation, and then left bumper on Xbox, L1 on PlayStation. So this is what it's going to look like. Now, your goal here is to run into the center, or not the center, the right guard when the ball is snapped. So from here, the easiest way to do this is to do the lock-in trick. There are 2 different ways to do the lock-in trick. One I don't recommend, but I'll show you it anyway. You can just hit up on the D-pad, and this is going to pull up the substitutions menu. This will allow you to just hold down the left stick. You can move your joystick wherever you want. Your player won't move. But because of this, we can hold down the left stick, and when the ball is snapped, that'll immediately make us run into this guard, and that's going to get our free rusher off the edge for an instant sack of the quarterback, right? So really good, really annoying. I'll show you the other version of it here, and it's really fast to set up this blitz. What I prefer to do if I'm going to do the lock-in trick is I'm going to hit left on the D-pad, and then I'm going to pull up the stunts menu. I prefer this one because the menu is literally like a quarter of the size. I can still see what's going on the field. But again, same thing. We're just going to run into that guard, and then we can try to break off with our user and go play coverage. Now, you might be saying, well, you know what? I don't know if I want to send that many people because you got to send 5 people technically. And I don't know that I want to commit my user necessarily either. Well, the good news is there's an easy workaround for this. This blitz is always going to come in if they send out 5 people, okay? Now, if they block a running back or a tight end, the blitz won't come in, but I do want to show you that you can get away with doing this with sending 4, not including your user. So we're going to set this up the same way. Spread your defensive line, QB contain, bring this guy down here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to blitz him. So I'm just going to blitz my user, and then I don't need the defensive tackle on the left side to be blitzing at all. So what I can do is I can double tap the D-pad to the left, and that's going to pull up the defensive line adjustments menu here. And I'm going to hit Y, and I'm going to put him into some type of zone. I'll just put him into a QB spy, for example, here, right? So now there's only 4 people rushing, and one of them's our user. But when the ball is snapped, we're going to let our user run into that guard, and then we're going to hit down on the D-pad, and that's going to allow us to switch stick to either that quarter flat on the left, or it's going to allow us to put it on the QB spy that we just put out there. So let me snap the football here. Boom, I switch stick, I'm on the QB spy, and we're able to go play coverage over the middle of the field. And at the same time, this blitz is still screaming in only sending 4 people, and our user is not occupied. You can see here, just a completely free rush off the edge, and we're flying in for a sack of the quarterback. Now, the only other thing that I'll show you is, again, you can do this out of multiple different plays. So let's just do Tampa 2, right? Same thing, spread the defensive line, QB contain. We'll do the switch stick version of it again. And, oops, we'll do something like this. Did I get the right adjustment there? There we go. And you're going to see, snap the football, again, 4-man rush. and it should fly in off the edge for a sack of the quarterback. So that is number 5 on our list. It's still a fantastic blitz. Well, let's show you 1 through 4 and why they're ranked even higher in our top 5 blitzes in Madden 26. Now, at number 4 on our list of the top 5 blitzes in Madden 26, we're going to look at the formation 3-3 double mug. And this is technically going to be a setup out of our Minnesota 2.0 defensive game plan as well. Now, this is such a great formation. There's a lot of ways to blitz out of it, but I'm going to show you the blitz that's kind of, I hate to say it, but kind of the idiot beater. This is a very good blitz, especially if you're playing like somebody who doesn't play a ton of Madden. This is going to absolutely destroy them. But what we're going to do from here is we're going to click in the right stick to pull up the coaching adjustments, and we're going to change safety width to pinch and safety depth to close. Everything else is completely optional on here. I do highly recommend running it with auto flip on. And then we're going to click into here, and we're also going to change our shell, which is kind of above my head here. It says shell default. We're going to flick the right stick to the right 2 times, and we're going to change that to cover 2. Ultimately, this one is optional. You don't need to do it, but I still recommend it. So the play we're going to look at is mid blitz. So I'm going to call mid blitz here. And what we're going to do is we're going to just show the play art, and then we're going to identify which player is manned up on the running back. Now, it is the safety in this case. It's Harrison Smith. And we're just going to take him, and we're going to drag him down in front of the center and in between our 2 middle linebackers. Now, the only other thing you need to do to actually set up this blitz is to spread your defensive line. So that's left on the D-pad, up on the left stick. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, what is so good about this is, first and foremost, you can see if they send out 5 people, this is just going to fly in. Now, you have to remember your user responsibility is that running back. So if they go on a route, you need to be ready to go guard them. But if they send out 5 people, you have 6 people blitzing still, somebody's going to come in free. That's part of the beauty of it. But what makes this blitz kind of annoying, especially for people who don't know what they're doing, is a lot of people will try to just pick up this blitz by blocking a running back or blocking a tight end. But I want you to notice something. Look at our user. He's got a flame icon over his head right now, right? That means he is untargeted by the offensive line, meaning if they were to snap the football right now and he were blitzing, the offensive line or the running back would not be accounting for him. He'd be completely unguarded. But take a look at the other players on the defensive line. They're all accounted for. There's no flame icons over their head. Let me bring him down in between the middle linebackers in the center now. Look at that. The user doesn't have the flame icon now, but the defensive end on the left and the linebacker on the right somehow both have flame icons over their head. And what that means is they are not being targeted by the offensive line or the running back. So if they snap the football, we should see 1 or 2 people come completely free, even though we are only technically rushing 6 people. So again, we'll just do the same thing. I'm going to bring him down here, and we'll block the running back, and you're going to see there's a flame icon over the defensive end on the left. So what that means is this blitz is not going to get picked up. This is still going to come screaming in. Now, if you have somebody run this against you, what you need to do is you need to block your running back or a tight end. Then you need to hit the left bumper on Xbox, L1 on PlayStation, and hit the untarget defender button. And you need to put the flame icon over your opponent's user. You want that flame icon there. Now you can see from an offensive perspective, now that flame icon's over the correct person, they snap the football. Again, we're not blitzing, we're dropping into coverage, but now they're gonna have time. But I called this the idiot beater at the beginning of the video here because most people that you're gonna play online just don't know about this somehow. So that puts them in a position where even if they try to block a running back, you're gonna see flame icon's still there. We're gonna get somebody coming in completely free off an edge. That time it actually accidentally got picked up a little bit, but you're gonna see that this comes in completely free off an edge or even up the middle sometimes. This frustrates a lot of people, and it'll get you some easy sacks in Madden 26. Now at number 3 on our list, we're gonna again look at the formation 3-3 double mug, and this is gonna be a setup that we run out of our Jacksonville defensive game plan on WinMadden.com. Now this is a great blitz because it's not only gonna stop the run, it's going to also send screaming pressure, and we can do it out of a variety of different plays. But from this menu, I want you to click in your right stick to pull up the coaching adjustments. You can kind of change anything in here. It's not going to affect the blitz at all, but I do recommend changing safety width to pinch and safety depth to close. That's going to, again, just kind of protect against quick seam throws and everything. It's going to have your safeties a lot closer to the line of scrimmage. Now, from here, I do recommend that we go in here and we make one adjustment here as well. You can kind of see over my head, it says shell default. I want you guys to flick the right stick to the right 2 times and go to shell cover 2. This is going to make sure our defense always comes out in a cover 2 shell. And that's important because, again, we can run this blitz out of man, we can run it out of cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. We just want to make sure our opponent doesn't have a tell on what defensive coverage we're running, because that is going to help get this pressure in even faster if we can confuse the opponent at all. All right, so from here, I'm just going to select mid blitz as our first option here. Excuse me, but when we break the huddle, what we're going to do is we're going to spread our defensive line. That's left on the D-pad, up on the left stick. Then we're going to spread our linebackers, which is right on the D-pad, up on the left stick. Now from here, you can actually use either one of these middle linebackers. The blitz will work that way. I will show you in a second that if you use the linebacker on the running back side, you can see the running back's on the left here. So I'm going to use the running back on the left. This is going to help stop the run really, really well if you do that. But regardless, I'm just going to show you the basic blitz. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to stand literally in front of the center, but instead of standing directly in front of him, you can see our blitz angle kind of misses him here a little bit. I want to stand kind of on the outside shoulder of him. So because I'm the linebacker on the left, I'm going to stand on his shoulder on the right side. And what you're going to see here is, and I know we're sending 6 people and they're only blocking 5, but I'll show you that you do not need to send 6 people in a second and the splits will still work. But what you're going to see here is we're just going to get immediate A-gap pressure for an instant sack of the quarterback. Now, again, you do not need to actually send that many people, but I did want to show that that's the basic way of doing it. But again, let's just call the same play. Spread the defensive line, spread the linebackers, bring this guy down. Now, because the blitz is technically coming from the right side here, I don't need the players on the left side at all to be blitzing. So I can go ahead and put the defensive end into some type of zone. I can put the defensive tackle on the left side into some type of zone. You can see here I put him into a QB spy. Doesn't matter. When the ball is snapped, again, we're going to run into the center. We want our user to run right into the center. You don't really need to press anything. He'll just do it naturally. And you're going to see we're still going to get A-gap. That time it barely got picked up. That's almost never going to happen, especially in game it won't. But you can see it just absolutely flies in. And I do want to just show you that it works to either side. Like if I were to come down and do it with this guy, we'll just send 5 this time. You're going to see the exact same result. He's going to fly in right through the A-gap. Now you might be thinking, why do I have to essentially get my user out of the play just to send pressure sending 4 or 5 people? Well, the good news is you don't. There is a workaround for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up exactly the same way. Spread defensive line, spread linebackers. Again, I'll user this guy. And I'm going to stand just kind of on the outside shoulder, the center there. But I'm going to go ahead and zone these guys out again. But what you can do is you can D-pad switch. So the really annoying thing about this is this can be a 4-man blitz where you don't even have to commit your user to engaging with somebody. So when the ball is snapped, again, we're going to let our user run into the center, and then we're just going to hit down on the D-pad, and that's going to switch us to either the hard flat or the guy on the QB spy. So let me just snap it here. Snap the football, I D-pad switch, I'm on the hard flat, and you can see the blitz still comes screaming up the middle for an instant sack of the quarterback. This is super annoying because, again, we're only sending 4 people in this case. You can see we're only sending 4, and we're still getting just immediate A-gap pressure for an instant sack of the quarterback. Now, I did mention that you can do this out of any play. Like, for example, let's go to Tampa 2, right? Here's a Tampa 2, spread the defensive line, spread linebackers, blitz all linebackers because they're not blitzed here. We need them to be blitzed. And then again, you can do the same thing. Let's just send the blitz from the other side here, right? So we'll bring this guy down. We'll drop another zone over here. We'll send 5 this time. 5 is a little bit more consistent than 4, obviously. But again, same thing. We'll D-pad switch. I'm over here on the hook curl, and boom, we're flying in again for a sack of the quarterback. Now, I also mentioned that this is really good against the run. So let's just go to an inside zone here, for example, right? Now, if you're on the running back side, especially if they're in shotgun, right? So the running back's on a particular side. Again, we're going to set this up exactly the same way, but what you're going to notice is if you do end up on the running back side with your user, the linebacker opposite of him should come flying in right through the A-gap and just hit him in the backfield. In that case, he hit him in the backfield, he hit sticked him, and he fumbled even. Like, this is just great run defense on top of it. This is, again, it's just one of my favorite blitzes because of how easy it is, how you can run it out of a multitude of different plays, and it's great run defense on top of a great blitz where you really only need to send 4 people for it to come screaming for an easy sack of the quarterback. So that's why that's number 3 on our list of top 5 blitzes in Madden 26. Now at number 2 on our list of the most overpowered blitzes in Madden 26, we're going to look at the formation nickel 2-4 and the play over storm brave. Now, this is a setup from our Minnesota 2.0 defensive game plan on WinMadden.com. But this blitz is so good because you can actually send the blitz from multiple different sides. You can bluff the blitz. It just does a great job. Also stops the run really well. So I'm going to call nickel 2-4, but I want to show the coaching adjustments here real quickly. So we click in the right stick. Now, normally in a lot of our blitzes, we're changing safety width to pinch and safety depth to close. You can do that out of this blitz. I actually run this blitz with both of these on default. So that's just my recommendations. You can set zone drops if you want. You can change all these. It's not going to change the blitz at all. But that's how I run it. I literally run this completely just stock, completely default. Now, I don't change packages. I don't change coverage shells. The only thing that I would recommend, if you're playing regs specifically, you want to make sure you have fast players in both of these middle linebacker spots. So if you're playing regs, I would actually just recommend subbing in safeties into these spots because they need to be fast and they need to be high acceleration because they're just going to be your user or they're going to be blitzing. That's it. They're not going to be dropping into coverage. They're not going to be doing a lot of different things with it. So they just need to be fast, high acceleration. Now from here, again, we're going to call the play Overstorm Brave. Now, very simple here. When we break the huddle, we can simply just decide, do we want to blitz on the left side or do we want to blitz on the right side? And ultimately, it doesn't matter which side we choose. We just want to pick one. So for example here, I want to send the blitz from the right. So in order to send the blitz to the right, we're going to slide our defensive line right by hitting left on the D-pad, right on the left stick. And then we're going to show blitz with our linebackers by hitting right on the D-pad and then the right bumper on Xbox, which is R1 on PlayStation. And then we're going to user the linebacker opposite of the blitzing side. So we're blitzing from the right, we're going to user the linebacker on the left. Now from here, this is optional, but I do highly recommend it. It's going to make it more consistent. We're going to QB contain. So we're going to hit the right bumper on Xbox and then the left bumper on Xbox, which is R1 and then L1 on PlayStation. And then we can zone out both the defensive end and our user on the left side. So I'm going to go ahead and just zone out the defensive end over there and then I'll zone out our user. So you can see we're only rushing 4 people and one of them is a QB contain, which is great. But what you're going to see is if your opponent sends out 5 players, this should just come screaming in through the B gap for an immediate sack at the quarterback. And this is so good because they also can't roll out away from it. So you can see here, we got a QB contain on the right side, and this is just flying in through the B gap. If they try to roll out this way, they're going to run into the QB contain, right? So boom, it's going to fly in, immediate sack of the quarterback. Now I did mention you can send this blitz to either side. So again, we're going to just set this up. And you can see that it actually doesn't take that long to set up. You just need to get used to it a little bit. I know it feels like a lot of steps, but it's actually really easy. And what you're going to see again, if they send out 5 people, this will now fly in through the other side, again, giving you an instant sack at the quarterback. It is such a good blitz. It's really fast and it's really, really consistent. That's maybe the best part of it. Now, the other thing is it does a really good job against the run. So for example here, if our opponent's running an inside zone, if I ever think my opponent is running the football, especially out of shotgun, I'm going to send the blitz to the side I think they're running it to. So the running back's on the left, and inside zone has to go from left to right. So I'm just going to slide my defensive line right and then set up the blitz this way, right? So boom. Oh, accidentally screwed it up apparently. There we go. There we go. Now you're going to see here, they try to run this inside zone. Our blitzer is going to come right through the B gap there and meet him in the hole, and he's going to lose yards on it. Like, it is such a good run defense from that standpoint where they're just literally going to have nowhere to go. Like, he's getting hit in the backfield at 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage before he even gets a shot at making a move. So again, that's why this is just one of my favorite blitzes in the game. It's number 2 on our list. It's super easy to run. You can adjust however you want out of it. The blitz is still going to work. And again, you can see it just flies in whenever your opponent sends out 5 players. They have to block a running back or a tight end in order to consistently pick up this blitz. Now at number 1 on our list of the top 5 most overpowered blitzes in Madden 26, we're again looking at the formation 3-3 double mug. And this will be, again, out of our Minnesota 2.0 defensive game plan on WinMadden.com. Now, from here, again, I do recommend going into coaching adjustments and quickly setting safety width to pinch and safety depth to close, and also clicking into 3-3 double mug and, again, changing the coverage shell to cover 2. Now, the reason we're doing this, again, is because we can run this blitz out of multiple different play calls, whether it's man, cover 2, cover 3, doesn't matter. We don't want our opponent to know whether we're in man or zone. This will help, again, get pressure even faster because if our opponent hesitates at all, we're going to get home for a sack. So we're just going to start by showing this out of mid blitz, though. Now, the great thing about this is, again, we're just gonna immediately show our play art and we can decide which side we want to send the blitz from. Now, let's just, for example, say I want to blitz from the left side. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna spread our defensive line, so left on the D-pad, up on the left stick. And then because we're gonna blitz from the left, I'm gonna grab the linebacker right here, the middle one, on the right side, and I'm gonna drag him to the other side of the center and stand right next to our other linebacker. So he needs to stand in between the center and our other linebacker. Now from here, we do not need to send the people on the right side of the screen at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the defensive end, which is B, into some type of zone. We'll put him into a curl flat just for example here, and I'll show you in the next rep that we can even send 4 and get this to come in. But when we snap the football, we are going to D-pad switch. So as soon as the ball is snapped, we're gonna let our user run into the center, and then we're gonna hit down on the D-pad, and that's gonna switch me to the defensive end in the curl flat over there. So again, if our opponent sends out 5, this is gonna fly in. So we'll snap the football, I'm gonna D-pad switch, and you're gonna see we're gonna fly in off the edge again for an instant sack of the quarterback. This is one of the fastest and most annoying blitzes in the game to play against. So let me just show this an instant replay here. You're gonna see our user will run into the center, which is just going to give us an overload on the left side. We've got 3 rushers over there. They only have 2 blockers. Boom, we're flying in, and everybody is manned up, and there's going to be nowhere to go in that quick time frame. Now, again, you can send this blitz to either side. So let's just do this to the right side this time. Spread the defensive line. We're going to then move this guy over here because we want to blitz from the right side. And then let's just say I want my user to be in a vert hook. So I'm going to essentially just put that defensive end into a vert hook, and then when the ball is snapped, I'm going to hit down on the D-pad to switch stick, and you're going to see, again, this is going to fly in for an easy sack of the quarterback. Now, the other thing that makes this great, like I mentioned before, is we don't need to send 5 people even. We can send 4. So let's just put these 2 zones out here. I got a vert hook and a curl flat over there. We're doing the exact same thing. Nothing has changed. Then when the ball is snapped, again, you just need to make sure your user wins the race to the center here, because the other middle linebacker will try to run into him too. But if he wins that race, you can switch stick, and we're going to fly in again for an easy sack of the quarterback, only rushing 4 people, which again is just crazy good. Now, the other thing I want to show you real quickly is this is great against the run as well. I know a lot of people in the comments are going to say, I'm just going to run the football on this. No, you're not. This is really, really good against the run. So I'm going to grab the linebacker opposite of the running back. If they're under shotgun, and I think at all they might be running the football, I'm going to grab the linebacker opposite of the running back, and I'm going to move him to this side. And again, you can still zone out, the players on the opposite side if you want. But what you're going to see is when we snap the football, we should get somebody flying in up the middle for immediately hitting the running back. Like it is one of the best run defenses in the game. It's super annoying because of that. And you could actually do this out of a lot of different things. Let's just go to a different play, for example, different formation. Here's bunch wide now. Same thing. We're going to move this guy over. Do the same thing. As long as you use the linebacker opposite of the running back, this should fly in, and it should hit the running back in the backfield. I mean, they will literally not only not gain yards, they're going to lose some yards on it. So let me just show it an instant replay here. Again, right up the middle, completely untouched is our linebacker, and we're hitting the running back for a 4-yard loss on a simple inside zone, right? So anyway, that is number 1 on our list of the most overpowered blitzes in Madden 26. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Now, these blitzes are great and you're going to get a lot of stops, but in order to become a better Madden player, you have to be able to score as well. So if you like this video, you should check out this video next, where I show you the top 5 most overpowered offenses in Madden 26.